Good morning, CrossFit Manitowoc. It's Coach Matt. This is the workout brief for Friday, the 24th of April, and I wanted to also give a preview for the weekend, being that Gaza is on Saturday, and the number one piece of equipment that is going to be in need on that day is going to be a pull-up station or some way to do some bodyweight pulling. And I have one of my alternative or sort of cobbled together methods right here. This is just a 1/4-inch nylon rope. I have it doubled up and just some bunny ear loops in the end of it, and then I have it wrapped around one of these pull-up bars. But this could just as easily be wrapped around the joists in your garage or hooked on a hook somewhere, and it gives us kind of an easy way to do some rowing, right? Some body weight rowing, and that would be a fantastic substitution if you don't have access to a pull-up bar, or if you have access to a pull-up bar but you don't have a band. This is just the next best thing. And also, as I look around the room, I've given away just about every single piece of equipment that I have, but I have at least 6 sets of rings, and I may have a 7th one hiding somewhere. So get in touch with me if you would like to borrow one of those. All right, my theme for today is that I know nothing, and that is, you guys know I love the old Stoic and Greek philosophers, and this one's from Socrates. And when someone said, Socrates is the wisest person in the world, and he says, how's that possible? Because I don't know anything. And it's a dual meaning phrase, but it is that I am constantly evaluating myself, and I'm constantly evaluating my methods and my knowledge, and considering myself to know nothing. And that is the standpoint from which we take all of our information on programming, on physiology, and on other things like community and self-worth and how you respond to challenges. And there's some things that we are very confident in, and other things that we are very much willing to bend on and to flex on. And all that to say that we're going to continue acting on the best information that we have, both in the midst of this COVID crisis and physiologically as well. So in other words, if we figure out that 14 reps are better than 12 reps, then you better believe that I'm going to change my programming and adapt it. And you guys have seen this, some of our 7 and 8 year members have seen the programming kind of evolve as we go forward, and as I learn more as a programmer. But I think we're in a really good spot right now in terms of getting people fantastic results, as well as doing things that are fun and leave you feeling really satisfied after your workouts. And I think tomorrow's workout is going to be one of those, and it's called a countdown. I was going to recommend, if you are choosing between Friday and Saturday, that you evaluate your status of recovery and readiness, and then make a choice. I personally am going to rest on Friday because I've worked out the other days of the week, and I've had some really not sleeping well, not eating perfectly, lots and lots of stress, and I don't feel like the added stress of another hard long workout is going to be a good thing that's beneficial for my body. So I'm going to intentionally try sleep in Friday morning, rest and eat really well on Friday, and then hit a hard workout on Saturday. And that's my approach to it, and I feel like that's a good rhythm to get into. Some of you other guys, if you're handling the stress fantastically and your diet's on point and you're feeling ready and fresh to go, then I say go for it. Do both of them. This would be, I look at Gaza as a once or twice a year event, and I want to be rested and recovered for it. So not every day would I recommend taking a day off, but in this case, that might be the best choice for you. Okay, so countdown. We're going to start off with 4 minutes of cardio, and knowing that running is prescribed for Saturday, I'm probably going to pick something different, like biking or elliptical or rowing or maybe jump rope or something else, or even 4 minutes of burpees. Yes, you can do that. 4, then 3, and then 2, and then 1. Those are going to be the countdowns on the minutes of cardio at the beginning of each round. You could choose different ones for each round if you would like to. The next would be our grasshoppers, and it's a lot of grasshoppers, 80 reps on each leg. But you can knock out grasshoppers pretty fast if you'll hop between each leg. When you do grasshoppers, I would like to see a squeeze at the top of it. So you're actively trying to get that elbow or the knee to touch the elbow right there. If you can only get here, but you're squeezing, that's okay, right? But you absolutely may do these at a pretty fast pace, right, to get them done. So those go 80, 60, 40, 20. The next one is our goblet squat. And goblet squat, I just say use whatever you got. So if you've got a slam ball, if you've got a plate, if you got a gallon of peaches or whatever comes in those giant tin things, do that, right? Another one I have been using recently has been a bucket. I bet a lot of you guys have a bucket. If you fill this bucket with pea gravel, it doesn't spill that much, or it doesn't make a lot of mess, and it would weigh about 50 pounds. And that would be a pretty challenging object to goblet squat, right? If you wanted something a little bit more substantial. And then the last one is an overhead lunge step. Now I would not recommend doing the bucket overhead, but you can do the same object. Let's say you have a kettlebell or a slam ball. You can just hold that slam ball up over your head as you're doing those lunge steps. And those are total steps. So if it says 20, that means 10 on the right and 10 on the left. 16 total steps, right on the right and on the left, okay? So it's a pretty simple workout, but it should be relatively long. Another one that you're gonna wanna work on pacing on. And try to keep that cardio at a steady pace the entire time. And that's it. For the warm-up, there is one specific running drill that I want to do, and that is our leaning wall run. So we're going to do 30, I think I had 20 seconds. 20 seconds continuous, but you should have your heart rate up pretty high when you do this. So you're taking your stance at the wall, standing up tall with the fingertips touching, and then you're moving your hands up, and that's the amount that you lean, right? So it's not a super aggressive lean into it, but it's also not standing up straight. It's just a slight lean, and this is the position that we want to be in when we're running. And as I'm jogging here, I'm trying to stay in the same position, feet hitting the same spots, just running high knees, right? And I would like for you to take that into the running that we do for the rest of the weekend. And then lunge, hip rise, toe touch. So just lunge and then pivot forward so hips come up, and then stand and touch that back leg, okay? And then heel toe rock is the final one for the warm up. All right, and that is it for the day. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you for Gaza on Saturday. Woo!